Hello guys, so last Saturday my partner Joy Detweiler, an Asian American, and I met for a quick bubble tea at Kung Fu Tea. I shared with her my yesteryear's pictures of me and my friends in high school, and she showed hers. My first observation was that in Malaysia, or like many Southeast Asian high schools, we had to wear a specific uniform to attend religious or even normal school, while in America it was obvious she was just wearing normal clothes or daily clothes with her friends. Malaysia is pretty strict about the clothing though. But in my country, we had to wake up early as 6 a.m. each day as school usually starts around 7. This is usually the time for breakfast for us and also morning prayers. We pray to God so the day will start brightly for each and every of us. It's slightly different when I talk to Joy. Her classes started around 8:30 and there weren't any morning prayers that was done. So the similarities and differences that can be seen, like the school is in Malaysia is definitely tough. As a Muslim majority country, students there are trained professional test takers. Since our elementary school, we are trained to focus and only focus to excel in exams while not neglecting our religious needs. Students are judged based on grades, and that was about it. Getting good grades means higher possibility to get scholarships in tertiary education. It was definitely tough because our final grades and our coursework are only based on final exams. Our coursework requires lots of memorization. Our mentality was to not understand what we learned but instead to memorize. Thus, this means we had to really rely on our capability to use our semantic memory as efficient as we can. We had to store all the information that we learned in classes just to sit for a final year exam that will be evaluated upon entering colleges. By excelling in the academic system, we had to take extra classes so all the memories wouldn't be lost, at least after the finals. The teachers would often do revisions as a method of sustaining our information. They encouraged us to do study group week in, week out to help us on this and keep praying to God though. We had a special Friday night gathering on discussing how praying and putting effort on studies can help us for better grades. I had to balance my studies and spirituality like Friday prayers. Religious holidays sometimes mean nothing if I didn't study enough. But according to Joy, this is totally different in America. The teachers put aside religion in school, but instead want the students in her school particularly to think more than that. They want students to challenge normal answers, open their mind and explore many different possibilities. They give reasons and answers not just based on textbooks. They could study from religious point of view, scientific values, etc. Unlike in Malaysia, the religious holidays in the US aren't as many, which means during holidays they can focus on the celebrations for a quick time rather than just still studying during those times. The workload on the other hand is simply too great. Basing on overall performance of students, she could excel well because she could relate her learning and applies it to daily lives. She said most of her classes are cumulative too, and I witnessed this in my 4 years in MSU. It brought me to a new perspective that this education in America is less stress and more fun. Yes, I still had to remember specific terms, but rather than just memorizing, I had to understand the materials that were being taught to. Joy and I agreed that to excel in this education, specifically, we had to do study groups and also being present and focused in class. Okay, there's small insights on my culture and what I the culture. Small insights for culture and what I learned about my culture is comparing to my experience in Malaysian schools. The teachers here appreciate what you have in mind. They willingly to listen to your opinions, and I like the style of argumentation here. If we don't agree on something, we just discuss it. The concept of metacognition, thinking of thinking vastly, can be seen here. Teachers encourage every little detail of discussion. My partner says they want students to think from many perspectives, the causes and effects to solve problems. For example, I see many students engaging in my religion class, arguing controversial topics such as Islamophobia or anti-Semitic. They don't want students to be brain dead. That rarely happens in Malaysia. Most of the teachers use the old approach of if you don't agree with it, you live with it. For instance, when I was in my Arabic class, I showed different approach to talk on the ultra-conservative approach by Muslims on certain aspects, like not being open arms to different culture. I was brutally ignored by my teacher. Some of the teachers tend to value students as just students, but not as learners. Here in the US, the practice of metacognition is well articulated about, and they are very, very impressive. I still admire how important Malaysian schools value their education culture. However, I'm very welcoming and accepting that the US education culture has affected me on improving my personality. I learned more tolerance after coming to the US. Adapting to the education here has helped me to know what can be improved for the future of Malaysian education. Some values should be absorbed in the academic system, like living out of religion during education, as this promotes to more critical thinking than just sticking to extreme thinking that religion is the solution for every answer. Thank you.